grapple fans. Mike Quackenbush, Director of Fun, here to serve up something tasty. Our humongous double round-robin tournament, the Challenge of the Immortals, produced a slew of savory matchups, and I've scoured the annals of Chikaratopia to bring you a rare delicacy. Here's Fire Ant and Silver Ant as opponents. One-on-one from the Wrestle Factory. One remains. And if you could have guessed, Leonard, would you have ever guessed it would come down to this? Fire Ant versus Silver Ant.
Now listen, I'll be honest with you, there's times where I see partners who teamed up and I wonder what it'd be like if they ever faced off against each other. And, you know, obviously with the influence that we've seen the Nightmare Warriors have over Silver Ant, I never thought it would happen like this, but the way to cap off the Challenge of the Immortals here, unfortunately Battle Hive mathematically eliminated. It has been a good weekend for the Nightmare Warriors. They were victorious in the Challenge of the Immortals in the match last night against Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Frightmare and Hollow Wicked picked up their third point toward contention for the Campeonatos de Parejas, and Silver Ant, a victory here will give them 11 points overall in Challenge of the Immortals, a very respectable showing.
Tied up with Crown and Court.
Yes, indeed.
With the Nightmare Warriors here, team captains agreed to this one-on-one confrontation. Fire Ant versus Silver Ant is in the ring right now. Of course, it's a very different Silver Ant than what we're used to seeing. We've seen this almost sinister-like infection spread across his mask since King of Trios, where he's really embraced his role with the Nightmare Warriors. And after seeing Soldier Ant injure Worker Ant in New York City, it really just feels like we've been watching as the colony crumbles before our eyes here.
Fire Ant, of course, a little apprehensive here, taking on his former partner. I'm sure he was looking forward to maybe teaming back up with Silver Ant after Challenge of the Immortals was done, and with Frightmare at ringside, as you mentioned, the influence of the Nightmare Warriors on Silver Ant. Who knows what 2016 will bring for Silver Ant, let alone Fire Ant and everyone else here in Chikara. And now both men on the ground.
He's got one leg grapevine, does Fire Ant, and right now Silver Ant's trying to counter using Jujigatame, or the cross chest arm breaker as it's sometimes called. He's going to stack him up. Silver Ant's not going to let his shoulders be exposed for very long. Tell you what, when it comes to making technical errors down on the mat, I doubt you're going to see either guy do that. Those types of mistakes, highly unlikely in a match of this caliber.
Absolutely, but Fire Ant cannot compete long on the canvas with Silver Ant, possibly the preeminent grappler in not just Chikara, I'll argue to say in all of professional wrestling.
Fire Ant's got the experience edge there. He just stepped inside and tripped him behind the heel. Of the top he goes, and now underneath a leapfrog, nimble as can be. Fire Ant through the field goal off to the ropes. He's going behind the back, not the Toreador, but a fireman's carry. Silver Ant was ready for it. One more trip is blocked. Schoolboy roll-up. Silver Ant had him. He floated along with the momentum, and now he's got him hooked up. Seat belt. Stacked him high on his shoulder blades. Did Silver Ant. Counter for counter. Here's some terrific technical wrestling. Here comes Frightmare. I don't know, a brief moment where they locked eyes. The Nightmare Warriors partners, Silver Ant and Frightmare. Frightmare, I guess, out here to make certain they pick up the point. I would hate to see any type of outside interference mar this contest.
Yeah, and Frightmare coming out has kind of awoken something in Silver Ant here. It was, you know, a pretty clean technical contest. You know, neither guy really trying for any sort of big moves, and as soon as he came out, Silver Ant now chopping. Oh, come on, what is this? You mentioned about not getting involved in the match. I'm not really sure what Frightmare was trying to do there to Fire Ant.
Well, hopefully Frightmare is just going to be outside with his occasionally spastic behavior, but I do not want to see anything mar this because, as you said, I think if you were going to think about matches that you might one day anticipate, hope that would happen, this is up there. Fire Ant versus Silver Ant. This should be a fantastic bell-to-bell match. And that's exactly what I'm hoping these two deliver.
Silver Ant here in control. Big
Great
forearm shot there.
Put that right down the jawline, really showing his marksmanship with the strikes. He's got great kicks as well, does Silver Ant. Really well-rounded game.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was applauding his ground game before, but really it does not matter what sort of competitor he's in there with. Silver Ant can hang with the best of them.
Hooking him up here, the interlock front chancery, snap suplex. He's going to keep that grip. Rolls him right back up, maybe looking for another one. Hung it out to dry a little bit more, made him think about it. Third suplex looks like it's coming straight away here.
Fire Ant put the brakes on and connects with one of his own.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see he really tries to sheer drop that into a brain buster, does Fire Ant. I don't know if that's what we saw there. But you can see Silver Ant's clutching the back of his head. Came down with a rough landing. Fire Ant really hesitating for a second there, but you're going to have to take it to him. You want to pick up a point in this round-robin tournament, even if it is the last point anyone earns. Cannot take a back step.
Fire Ant turning up that intensity there. A series of big forearm shots, not going for the pin. I'm sure he knows just as well as anyone that you cannot put Silver Ant away that easily. And you saw a deep hook of both legs, a ton of weight across the shoulders, but still Silver Ant able to kick out.
Fans here really showing their appreciation for the skill of both competitors in this match. Fire Ant comes charging right into the Tiger Feint kick of Silver Ant. Strange movements there on the part of Silver Ant. He came slingshotting in. Turns right back around. Tope's out. Surprised Fire Ant, and I think also surprised the CHIKARA here on hand at the Wrestle Factory this afternoon with that one. He just reversed directions and immediately sprung out.
Now Silver Ant has Fire Ant. I would hope he would have brought him back in the ring, but instead a double thrust to the throat.
Well, laying it in. You could hear the contact there, fans. They're right out in front of the front row of the bleachers section here. Silver Ant now leading Fire Ant away. What's he thinking here?
Yeah, both men need to be wary of the count. Bryce already up to 8.
Well, I don't know what the heck Frightmare thinks he's doing here. Well, luckily that didn't last very long. I'm glad senior official Bryce Remsburg staying right on top of this. I don't see any reason for Frightmare to be out at ringside, and I wouldn't blame Bryce one bit if he ejected him.
Yeah, he's not striking him, Mike. He's grabbing at Fire Ant, rather, as Frightmare. I'm not really sure what he's...
Right, I don't know if he was trying to throw him back in the ring or what he was thinking there, but being inside the mind of Frightmare seems like a very scary place.
Well, again, I think being inside the mind of Silver Ant these days might be a very confusing place. As you heard the fans just a moment ago chanting for the Colony, and they're chanting for him as well as Fire Ant.
Fire Ant's having a real tough time here. We've seen Silver Ant start to hit his offensive stride. He is so very, very dangerous. Got so many tools with which to take you apart. Series of real quick flurry of strikes there. Oh, he ran right into that clothesline that caught him just under the chin. Really knocked the wind out of Fire Ant. Look at his body language here. Oh boy, wasn't a lot behind that kick out. I feel like Fire Ant's fading fast.
Yeah, and you see him shaking his own head, trying to get some sort of sense back into himself.
Silver Ant here looks like he's got about a half strangle, not a whole lot else going on, but you know what? Sometimes the simple holds can be the most effective. Fire Ant, yeah, you can see his left arm is loose. Just a half strangle hold here. He needs to kind of sidewall if he wants to find his way out. Maybe he's going to elbow his way out. Throwing some strikes here.
Reverse it right back in, front chancery, going for a suplex here perhaps. Fire Ant put the brakes on, as is Silver Ant, both men jockeying for position here.
Whoa! He managed to turn it in mid-air, did Fire Ant. Came out and nailed the stunner. Silver Ant now looking woo. Dazed out on the floor. Fire Ant's not afraid to fly, fans. Getting out of the ring's not going to save you from him. Look at this! Tope con hilo. He cleared that top rope with ease.
Bryce checking on both guys here. Fire Ant back up to his feet. He needs to get Silver Ant back in the ring.
Fire Ant finally managing to get the upper hand here. Yeah, he really needs to capitalize while he can. Scaling the top turnbuckle, Fire Ant poised to fly.
Could be going for that big high cross. No, was going for a kick, but Silver Ant was ready for him, got out of the way, dodged that, and just kicked his leg.
Wow, he took it right out. Usually he likes to string that low kick together with a high kick, and I don't think he got the opportunity because, oh boy. Well, I would certainly hate to see this match thrown out on account of an injury. I don't know if that's what we're up against here. Referee Bryce Remsburg checking with Fire Ant. Is he able to continue the match?
I think might have hyperextended that knee on the kick from Silver Ant. I'm not really sure.
Wow, Frightmare's just barking at Silver Ant. Go get him, go get him. He's giving no quarter to Fire Ant here, showing no mercy to his former friend and partner.
Bryce trying to get Silver Ant away, and Silver Ant tossing Bryce out of the way to continue the assault on the injured leg of Fire Ant.
Well, I tell you what, we've seen Fire Ant fight back from some really awful predicaments, and the idea that he's just going to surrender the match, highly unlikely. Oh. All the way around there, dropped on top of the toe hold, did so with his leg.
And you hear Fire Ant screaming in pain, but you also see Frightmare on the outside. You mentioned his actions are spastic before, but he's going crazy every time Silver Ant just torques that knee of Fire Ant.
Getting down and dirty here on the canvas. Not a lot of weight on the shoulder blades there. Really trying to exploit the hold that he's got on the left leg of Fire Ant. And he's doing it from a squatting position right now, is Silver. Fire Ant trying to strike his way out of trouble.
And trying to keep his shoulders on the canvas as well. You don't want to get pinned like this.
The jumping toe hold there. Oh, he caught it. Turning it right over is Silver Ant. Fire Ant's going to try and push up before the hold can be locked. Yeah. He's in a bad, bad way, and he knew it. Fire Ant reached out for the bottom rope. Referee Bryce Remsburg calls for the break. You can see here, Fire Ant is really suffering. Well, and once again there, Frightmare came over for just a split second. Bryce Remsburg ever vigilant in this particular match.
And Silver Ant again doing, just dissecting the leg of Fire Ant. And again, this is what you do in professional wrestling. You know, you want to win the match, and you know, you don't want to injure your opponent. But the fact that this is not just his opponent, it's his partner.
Very, very methodical in his offense right now is Silver Ant. Your opponent starts to show you a point of weakness. Of course, you want to seize on that. The history between these two, though, paints it with very different colors. Very, very, it's almost eerie watching this as Silver Ant is taking apart Fire Ant bit by bit in front of us here today.
Getting him away from the ropes, back to the center of the ring.
What's he thinking here? He's got a Kamagatame that he's working. At least part of one. Huh? I don't know. I guess he wants to well, he wanted to flatten Fire Ant out. He drove the right elbow into his back. It's just, feels very eerie watching Silver Ant in this way.
Eerie either way, but it's also, you know, worrisome to see Fire Ant barely able to stand, not even put any pressure on that leg at all. In there with a technician like Silver Ant, who is going to be able to just pull that leg apart as he has been doing for the last several minutes here.
Out of the corner, let's go.
Bryce Remsburg telling Silver Ant, you got to get it out of the corner here. Usually have a count of 5 before they'll be disqualified if they don't get out of the corner. I'd be really surprised to see well, either of these guys pressing their luck with the rules. It just seems uncharacteristic of either competitor. Struggling now for that superplex. Just pounding away on him, LFC.
And again, we've seen a lot of uncharacteristic behavior out of Silver Ant, you know, as you mentioned, since King of Trios, but especially in this matchup. So I don't think I'd be surprised by anything from Silver Ant at this point. Fire Ant with the opportunity, the headbutt, able to take Silver Ant down. Big high cross body, connects, not going for the cover there. You saw that he can barely even, he can't even put any pressure on that left leg line.
Yeah. He could barely execute the Yahtzee kick. It's going to make it very, very tough for him to use some of his trademark maneuvers. Trying to run. Couldn't do it. Oh boy, Silver Ant seizing on it, comes right out, puts that stomp right in between the shoulder blades, put that high enough up the spinal column, easy to pinch a nerve, do some real serious damage in there. And he sends Fire Ant in, he goes up and around. Can he come out the back door? He's got it. The double leg Nelson was in place. He had him pinned to the mat, but he couldn't hold him down. I just think Silver Ant hasn't sustained enough wear and tear in this one for a pinning combination like that to work.
No, he certainly hasn't, but Fire Ant's got to take every chance, every opportunity, every opening that he sees to try to end this match in a way that's not going to further injure that already injured left leg.
Rough looking headbutt there. Answers with a chop. Oh boy. Oh, what a shot. Fire Ant there, coming right up off the mat. Oh no, he got him. Blue Thunder.
Tried to to wheelbarrow himself in, but he scored with that kick. Definitely out of desperation, Mike, as after he scored with it, he collapsed.
Yep, possible knockout blow. Boy, the left shoulder just kind of lazily rolled up off the canvas there. He may have really rocked Silverant with that one on the side of the head.
Yeah, and maybe that's what Fire Ant's strategy needs to be. Instead of go for a quick cover, a quick something, maybe go for a knockout blow to end the match that way.
What? A chair just came flying into the ring here. And Bryce Remsburg, of course, getting rid of that and instructing one of the crew members to remove this from the ringside area. While Frightmare, what was he doing there?
It looks like he's trying to take Fire Ant's mask off.
It looked like he was unlacing it. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do earlier, and I just couldn't tell. But yeah, his mask is loose. What a strange move on the part of Frightmare. Oh, release German suplex to Silverant. Clothesline City. He just ran right through him. Really close on that one.
Turned Fire Ant inside out, but you saw Silverant keep a hand on that left leg and immediately into the ankle lock here as Frightmare is now up on that rampway, up on the apron, shouting instructions at Silverant.
Yeah, he's barking at him. He's screaming. It sounded to me like he said his mask, and I rarely understand what Frightmare is saying. He's screaming at him.
Yeah, he certainly is telling Silverant to take off the mask and mic.
What is this some sort of initiation on the part of the Nightmare Warriors to pull the mask off his former friend and partner? What is this about?
He's got those laces in his hands, Mike. Oh, there we go!
Silverant has had enough of this from Frightmare, who's been goading him for months to be more vicious. And now these two are just going at it.
And you wanted him to be more vicious, Frightmare. Now you got him. You have to deal with it. These two are fighting out through the crowd. They're fighting backstage, Mike.
Oh, he just sent him right into the wall, into the backstage corridor. Well, they are completely gone from view right now, Leonard.
Bryce putting the count on Silverant. I don't know if he's coming back.
I'll tell you what, it's easy to get lost in the cavernous backstage here at the Wrestle Factory. I do not even hear them at this moment. And they don't have long to beat the count, Leonard, or the Battle Hive will pick up a point via count-out.
Yeah, Fire Ant can't even stand. I don't think this is the way he would want to pick up this victory, but a victory nonetheless. Yeah, it's up to 18. I don't see Silverant making it back in time, Mike.
That's it. Well, I can't tell you the last time a match has ended in a count-out, but what an unusual circumstance. What a strange, strange match we've seen. And whatever sort of initiation the Nightmare Warriors had in store for Silverant, I think it's safe to say he failed.